1 uncoated aspirin tablet, 1 gallon of water, sprayed once on the leaves of any vegetable plant in your garden. Within 72 hours, that plant's immune system switches on at a level it has never reached on its own. Fungal diseases stop in their tracks. Bacterial infections die before they spread. Tomato blight, powdery mildew, downy mildew, blossom end rot, septoria leaf spot. Every common garden disease that destroys harvests every single year, suppressed by a tablet that costs less than a penny. Plant yields jump, fruit set increases, disease resistance triples, and the chemistry behind it has been documented in peer-reviewed agricultural journals since the early 1990s. There is a single molecule inside an ordinary aspirin tablet that does something no fertilizer, no fungicide, and no pesticide can do. It does not feed the plant. It does not kill the pest. It activates the plant's own internal defense system, the way a vaccine activates yours. And the reason almost no gardener you know is doing this is the same reason almost no gardener you know is brewing yeast water or burying logs. There is no recurring revenue in a tablet that costs 3 cents and lasts for a month. I am going to show you the exact recipe. I am going to show you the published research that proves it works. I am going to explain the molecule, the mechanism, and the moment in your plant's life when this single application can change the entire season. And by the end of this video, you will understand why one of the most powerful biological tools in modern gardening has been sitting in your medicine cabinet, behind a label you have looked at 1,000 times, while you spent another $40 on a bottle of disease spray that does less than the tablet you already own. The story starts with willow trees. For thousands of years, indigenous peoples on multiple continents used willow bark as medicine. The Cherokee chewed it for pain. Hippocrates prescribed willow tea for fever as early as 400 years before the birth of Christ. The active compound in all these remedies was a chemical called salicin, which the human body converts into salicylic acid. In 1897, a chemist at the German company Bayer named Felix Hoffmann took salicylic acid and modified it slightly to create acetyl salicylic acid. The company called it aspirin. It became the most widely produced drug in human history. But here is what the gardening world figured out almost a century later, and what the pharmaceutical industry has never advertised. Salicylic acid is not just a human painkiller. It is a master signaling molecule in plants. When a plant is attacked by fungi, bacteria, or insects, the plant produces its own salicylic acid internally. That salicylic acid then travels through the plant's tissue and switches on hundreds of defensive genes. The plant begins producing antifungal compounds, antimicrobial peptides, cell wall thickeners, and reactive oxygen species. The leaves go on full chemical war footing. Scientists call this response systemic acquired resistance, and they often shorten that to SAR. It is the plant's version of an immune response, and the trigger for the entire cascade is one molecule, salicylic acid. Now think about what that means. When you crush an aspirin tablet, dissolve it in water, and spray it onto your plant's leaves, you are not feeding the plant. You are not killing pests. You are telling the plant in its own chemical language that an attack is coming. The plant believes it. The defense system activates. And by the time real fungal spores land on the leaves, real bacteria touch the stem, or real insects start chewing, the plant is already primed and defended. In 1979, 2 researchers, Ray White and Daniel Klessig at Rutgers University in New Jersey, ran one of the foundational experiments. They injected tobacco plants with aspirin and then exposed them to tobacco mosaic virus. Untreated plants developed full viral infections, while plants that received aspirin showed dramatic disease suppression. Their results were published in the journal Virology, and the mechanism was confirmed. Since then, the body of peer-reviewed research on salicylic acid in plant defense has grown to thousands of papers across dozens of crops. Studies on tomatoes show dramatic suppression of early blight and late blight. Studies on cucumbers show reductions in powdery mildew and downy mildew. Studies on potatoes show resistance against the same fungal pathogens that triggered the Irish potato famine. Studies on beans show increased resistance to bacterial wilt. Studies on apples, peaches and grapes show extended shelf life and reduced post-harvest rot. The chemistry is settled, the mechanism is published, the molecule works. But that is just the disease angle. Stay with me, because the second effect is the one that almost nobody talks about, and it is what turns aspirin water from a fungicide replacement into a yield multiplier. When plants activate systemic acquired resistance, they do not just defend themselves, they also redirect metabolic resources. Internal sugar production increases, cell wall construction speeds up, root growth accelerates, flower formation intensifies. A primed plant is not just a defended plant, it is a stronger plant. Research published in the Journal of Plant Growth Regulation has documented yield increases of 15 to 30% in tomato plants treated with low-dose salicylic acid throughout the growing season. Studies on soybeans, wheat and corn show similar patterns. The defended plant is also the productive plant. Energy that would have been lost to disease or held in reserve in case of attack gets channeled into fruit, leaves, and seeds. Here is the part that almost feels too good to be true. Aspirin water also extends the shelf life of harvested fruit. Researchers have demonstrated that spraying tomatoes, peppers, and grapes with dilute salicylic acid in the days before harvest measurably slows the rate of post-harvest rot. The harvested fruit retains the chemical signal in its tissues. The signal continues telling fungi and bacteria to stay away, even after the fruit has been picked. Tomatoes treated this way stay firm and disease-free on the counter for an extra 5 to 10 days. For a backyard gardener with a heavy late summer harvest and no time to can everything immediately, that single benefit can mean the difference between using your tomatoes and watching them rot. Commercial organic growers in Europe and parts of the United States have quietly been spraying salicylic acid for over a decade. Several agricultural extension offices in Mediterranean countries now formally recommend it for organic disease management. Greenhouse operations growing high-value crops like cucumbers and peppers use it as a standard prophylactic treatment. The science is so well established that there are now commercial salicylic acid agricultural products sold for $40 to $70 a bottle. Those bottles contain exactly the same molecule that is sitting in the medicine cabinet of every household in the country, behind a label that costs $3 and lasts for years. So why have you never heard of this in a single mainstream gardening video, magazine, or extension pamphlet? The answer is the same answer that explains every buried gardening technology. There is no business model in selling a 1-cent tablet that replaces a $40 fungicide. Aspirin is generic. The original Bayer patents expired decades ago. Any pharmacy in the world sells it for pennies. A backyard gardener with a bottle of aspirin in the bathroom and a hose in the yard has, in their possession, a more biologically sophisticated plant defense tool than most of the products on the garden center shelf, at a price difference of roughly 4,000%. That math does not sustain an industry. It dismantles one. Here is the shareable detail that should change how you think about this entire conversation. The connection between willow trees, aspirin, and plant defense is not a coincidence. Willow trees produce salicin in their bark for the same reason aspirin works on plants. The tree uses it as its own internal defense signal. When a willow is attacked by fungi or insects, it floods its tissues with salicylic acid to activate its own immune response. The willow has been doing what we are about to do to our garden plants for hundreds of millions of years. The molecule that protects the willow is the same molecule that protects you when you have a fever. And it is the same molecule that will protect your tomato plants when you spray them this weekend. One chemical compound, three completely different uses across three different kingdoms of life. The same biology that keeps a willow tree healthy in a wet forest keeps a tomato plant healthy in a backyard garden in late summer. Now stay with me, because there is one more piece of research that elevates this from interesting science to essential gardening knowledge. A study published in the Journal of Plant Physiology examined the effect of salicylic acid pre-treatment on plants exposed to drought conditions. The salicylic acid-treated plants survived drought stress significantly better than untreated controls. Their stomata closed more efficiently, their water use efficiency improved, their leaves stayed greener longer under dry conditions. Another study, this one focused on heat stress, found that pre-treated plants tolerated high temperatures with measurably less leaf damage. Combined with the disease resistance and the yield enhancement, what you have in a 3-cent tablet is a comprehensive plant resilience tool. Better defense against pathogens, higher fruit production, increased drought tolerance, better heat tolerance, extended shelf life after harvest. No single synthetic product on any garden center shelf delivers this many independent benefits. Now we get to the part you actually came here for, the exact recipe. You will need a single uncoated aspirin tablet. 325 milligrams is the standard dose. The brand does not matter. The cheapest generic bottle from any pharmacy works exactly as well as any name brand. The critical detail is that the tablet must be uncoated. Enteric-coated aspirin, the kind designed to dissolve in the intestine rather than the stomach, will not dissolve properly in cool water and will leave you with a half-strength spray that does not work. Look for plain, uncoated, regular aspirin. If the bottle does not say uncoated, crush a tablet between 2 spoons. If it crumbles into white powder cleanly, you are good. If it has a hard, glossy coating that resists crushing, find a different bottle. You will need 1 gallon of water. Rainwater is best, filtered water is fine. Chlorinated tap water works, but reduce the chlorine first by letting the water sit in an open container for 24 hours. You will need 1 teaspoon of liquid soap. Any non-detergent liquid soap. Castile soap works perfectly. Insecticidal soap works. Even a small amount of clear dish soap will work in a pinch, though purer soaps perform better. The soap is not for the plant. The soap is a surfactant, which means it breaks the surface tension of the water and allows the spray to spread evenly across the waxy surface of leaves instead of beading up and rolling off. Without the soap, 90% of your spray runs to the ground. With it, the salicylic acid stays on the leaf where the plant can absorb it. Crush the aspirin tablet to a fine powder, pour it into the gallon of water. Stir vigorously for 30 seconds. Aspirin is not highly water-soluble, so some grit may remain at the bottom. That is fine. The dissolved portion is what matters. Add the teaspoon of soap. Stir gently again. Pour the mixture into any standard pump sprayer or hose end applicator. Now the application matters as much as the recipe. Spray in the early morning, ideally just after sunrise, or in the early evening after the heat of the day has passed. Spraying in direct midday sun causes the soap and the salicylic acid to evaporate before the plant absorbs them, and it can scorch leaves. Spray the tops of leaves and the undersides. The undersides are where most fungal infections actually start. Cover every plant in your garden thoroughly. 1 gallon will treat between 12 and 20 mature plants depending on size. Repeat the application every 2 to 3 weeks throughout the growing season. Do not spray more often than once every 10 days, because over-application can stress the plant and shut down growth, the opposite of what you want. There are 3 moments in a plant's life when this application matters most. The first is at transplant, when seedlings move from indoors into the ground. They are stressed, they are vulnerable. Salicylic acid at this stage triggers immune priming before any pathogen has a chance to establish. The second is at the start of flowering, when the plant is committing energy to fruit production and cannot afford to lose leaves to disease. The third is 2 weeks before peak harvest, when the spray protects the developing fruit and extends shelf life after picking. If you want to take this one step further, here is the advanced version that almost no English-speaking gardening channel will show you. The aspirin water mixture pairs synergistically with 2 other low-cost natural inputs. The first is liquid kelp extract, available cheaply at any garden center or online for around $15 a bottle that lasts an entire season. A small amount of liquid kelp, roughly 1 teaspoon per gallon, added to your aspirin spray delivers a complete cocktail of natural plant growth hormones alongside the immune signal. The plant gets defense activation from salicylic acid and growth stimulation from the cytokinins and auxins in the kelp at the same time. The second pairing is a few drops of fish hydrolysate, which provides micronutrients and amino acids the plant absorbs directly through its leaves. This 3-ingredient mix, aspirin plus kelp plus fish hydrolysate, applied every 3 weeks, has been quietly used by serious organic growers for over a decade. It is the closest thing to a complete foliar feeding program that exists. It costs roughly $1 per gallon of mixed solution. The bottled commercial equivalent runs $60 to $90 for the same volume. There are a few things to know about what aspirin water does not do. It is not a fertilizer. It does not provide nitrogen, phosphorus, or potassium. You still need to feed your soil with compost, organic amendments, or the buried wood and biochar systems I have covered in earlier videos. Aspirin water is a defense and yield enhancer, not a nutrient source. It also does not kill active infections that are already established. If a plant already has visible powdery mildew or full-blown blight, salicylic acid will help slow the spread, but it will not reverse damage that has already been done. Timing matters. Spray before the disease arrives. The whole point of systemic acquired resistance is to prime the plant for an attack that has not yet happened. There is also a caution worth mentioning. Salicylic acid in higher doses can be toxic to bees and to some beneficial insects. The dilution rate in this recipe, 1 tablet per gallon, is low enough that field studies have not documented harm to pollinators when applied early morning or evening when bees are inactive. But if you spray at midday when pollinators are working, you risk harming them. Apply during times when bees are not active. The plant absorbs the salicylic acid into its tissue within a few hours of application, after which any residual surface chemistry is gone. If you want to confirm this for yourself, run a controlled experiment. Pick 2 identical plants of the same variety, planted at the same time, in the same soil. Spray one with the aspirin water mixture every 2 to 3 weeks. Leave the other untreated. Track the disease pressure on both plants. Photograph the leaves weekly. Weigh the harvest from each plant at the end of the season. The difference will be visible to anyone walking past your garden. This is how backyard observation becomes data. This is how a generic 3-cent tablet, sitting in millions of medicine cabinets, can quietly outperform fungicide bottles selling for $40 a piece. The willow tree knew. Indigenous healers across multiple continents knew. Hippocrates knew. Bayer knew enough to build a pharmaceutical empire on the molecule. Modern plant biologists have spent 30 years confirming the mechanism, publishing the research, and watching it ignored by mainstream gardening. The gap between a healthy garden and a struggling one is often not water, not soil, not sunlight. It is biological information. A plant that knows an attack is coming defends itself. A plant that does not know, does not. You can give your plants that information for less than a penny per application. The recipe is in your medicine cabinet. The science is published in journals you can find with a single search. The only variable left is whether you mix the spray this weekend or scroll past this video and forget you ever saw it. The defenses are waiting. The molecule is real. The chemistry has been understood for over 100 years. The harvest begins now.